allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We'll start with the consideration of agenda items. Is there any corrections or additions?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Nagel and seconded by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion's made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Luthens to approve. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Auditor Treasurer. Good afternoon again, Connie.
Good afternoon. So today I'm here for 3 items. Item A, consider adopting Resolution 21 CB 36, authorizing me to make application to the Minnesota Office of Secretary of State for the Voting Elections Grant Agreement, Vega 3. The Minnesota Office of the Secretary of State has announced, pursuant to Minnesota Statute Section 206.95, a voting equipment grant account, Vega 3, is available for application of Minnesota counties before December 17, 2021. In 2021, an additional approximately $1.9 million as apportioned may be used to offset the cost to purchase assisted voting devices, optical scan ballot counters, electronic rosters, and other related items that qualify as election equipment under Minnesota Statute 206.56, Subdivision 8. At this time, I do not know the amount that we may be allocated. The OSS has established a priority of needs relating to the replacement of the Minnesota election equipment. The first priority is assisted voting device upgrades, which presents us with an opportunity to make application for the Vega 3 grant. The Vega 3 grant does require a 50% local match. With the priority level considered, McLeod County may qualify for the upcoming HAVA grant to pay the 50% local match of the Vega 3 grant. Questions for me?
Any questions for Connie?
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Nagel to approve the resolution 21 CB 36. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead.
Okay, item B, to consider approval to purchase Omni ballot tablets from Sea Change Election Services in Plymouth, Minnesota, to be used in McLeod County elections for a total cost of $101,552 with funds from the Election Special Revenue Fund. McLeod County currently utilizes AutoMarks as assisted voting device equipment in the precincts. The AutoMarks were purchased in September of 2006 and are due for replacement. Omni ballot tablets are offered through Sea Change Election Services. The price as contracted through MNCCC is $4,566, which includes the tablet, a printer, headphones, a barcode scanner, and first-year software license. There are currently 32 Minnesota counties who have purchased the Omni ballot tablets in 2020, with another 10 plus that have either ordered or have forecasted them for this year. Since McLeod County utilizes ES&S as its ballot tabulator vendor, there is not an alternate vendor to meet the needs of McLeod County elections. ES&S does not have an approved solution for assisted voting device equipment in Minnesota. Funding for the equipment will be facilitated through the Vega 3 grant as a priority item and the upcoming 2021 HAVA grant, with the balance due, if any, paid by the precincts. McLeod will house 2 Omni ballot tablets as it is as we are the precinct for the mail ballot precincts, the balance will be paid from the election special revenue fund. Any questions?
Questions for Connie? It's just, I mean, the layman, I was on elections for a while. I mean, it's just inevitable. This is just something, the evolution of elections, we have to have new stuff. So is that correct?
Right, it's just technology replacement.
Yeah. So it's, board?
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Nagel, seconded by Commissioner Luthens to approve. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the third item, C, approve the reallocation of $4,300 outlet of JD9 to JD115 McLeod, beginning with the assessments for payable year 2022. When originally planned, JD15 McLeod Meeker drainage system was to drain all to the south, and during the original construction, many years ago, there was a change resulting in the system flowing both north and south. In 2019, the viewers hired for redetermination noted that the north end of the system drains into Little Bear Lake and the south end drains into Lake Byron. Each system was independent, yet it was established originally as one system. After redetermination, in order to make things more equitable for each part of the watershed, the Drainage Authority considered division of the systems to accommodate expenses being paid by the actual benefited landowners. The viewers delineated the separate watersheds and separated the benefits. The entire south end of the ditch is fully in McLeod County, and the northern portion is in both McLeod and Meeker counties. On December 17th, 2019, a motion was made to split JD15 McLeod Meeker into two systems, and the motion was carried unanimously. The northern portion retains JD15 McLeod Meeker, and the southern portion is now known as JD115. With the split of the systems, the outlet benefit from JD9 also must be redefined and reallocated. JD15 McLeod Meeker, which flows north, does not outlet into JD9. The new JD115 McLeod flows south and does outlet into JD9. Hence, the total 4,300 outlet benefit should be reallocated to JD115 McLeod.
It's pretty much self-explanatory. So we did our due diligence to get everything done, so I'd make a motion to approve the reallocations.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Kruger and seconded by Commissioner Smalls to approve the reallocation. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
Environmental, Mark, I believe Scott's going to handle this one. Good afternoon, Scott.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mark asked me to present this item for him. Consider approval of proposal by UHL of Maple Grove, Minnesota to replace 9 cameras in the Environmental Services Building for a cost of $15,489 with funds from the Solid Waste Fund 05-391. The cameras being replaced either do not function or have a poor resolution due to their aged and outdated technology. UHL is a qualified supplier on the state contract.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Nathan.
I believe this is a reflection on the times that we're living in presently, so I think it's a necessary upgrade. So I move to approve.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Smallson, seconded by Commissioner Nagel. Is there any discussion? I understand from the checking I did that their resolution on these cameras are supposed to be outstanding, so something that's, like you said, it's a necessary evil. Any more discussion? Proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Building maintenance.
And under building maintenance, consider approval to have Foster Mechanical of Hutchinson, Minnesota replace the HVAC unit for the visitation area at Environmental Services, at the Environmental Services building. at a cost of $8,921 with funds from County Major Repairs Budget 01-115. The unit is beyond repair and not currently heating. This is an emergency repair. I also did a little homework right before the meeting. There are rebates available. The lowest amount will be $300, but I think I might get up around $450 for a rebate through Hutch Utilities.
Move to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Smalls to approve the HVAC system. Any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right,
Scott.
thank you.
Mr. Chair, can you hold on for a second? I just wanted to give the board an opportunity to thank Scott Grivna. Tomorrow's his last full-time day with McLeod County, and we're going to miss him very much. He is staying on part-time to help us through the end of the review period on the construction of the government center. You've been great. You've done a great job. Look around. You see the building and the work that you've done. Thank you. And we will miss you, but we're glad that you're not running out the door and that we'll still have you here for a bit. But you may not be at any more board meetings. So just wanted to share with the board that this may be your last
give you a harder time if
board
we
meeting. Yeah. We didn't want to tell them that before.
No, if there are anything that does come up with the building or even construction projects, I mean, you've all got my phone number. Give me a shout.
Scott, I remember when you came here, we were trying to decide how are we going to find a guy that's good at all these different things, and by gosh, we found him. So thanks for all that you've done for these years, and you'll be missed.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott. I happened to be one of the first that met you when you came, so being a jarhead didn't hurt you, so it probably won't hurt you. So.
Yeah, well, you played your cards close to the chest, though.
You might have to change your phone number now that you told him that
Yeah.
he can call you anytime.
Thank you, Scott.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, technology.
Good afternoon. Request to consider approval of agreement with the state of Minnesota to participate in the statewide security monitoring initiative, SSMI, CrowdStrike service for a total cost of $10,660 with funds from the information technology budget. This program will provide licensing for the CrowdStrike endpoint detection and response EDR software for all devices in the county and replace the program that was approved with the Center for Internet Security in August of 2020, which only applied to elections-related devices in the Auditor Treasurer's offices. The costs with the agreement are as follows: $0 for the remainder of 2021, $4,920 or $12 per device for 2022, $5,740 or $14 per device for 2023. Purchase of this software outside of the state program would cost approximately $55,000 per year. The state is using grant funding to subsidize the cost.
Any questions from the board? We're going to have to work on getting you a longer mic, Matt. That's all there is to it. So you can stay. But
Go ahead.
this is one thing I don't know a lot about, but I know you do your due diligence in going through this work. So, board's wishes, or any questions for Matt?
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Nagel to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Luthens. Any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Employee Relations, Hannah. Good afternoon, Hannah.
Good afternoon. I have 3 items today. Item A, consider approval of the Evaluation Committee and Personnel Committee recommendations to approve the Economic Development Coordinator position, which is graded a 180. This is a revised position per the recommendation of the Economic Development Committee. The board approved the Economic Development Director role graded 220 on April 20th of 2021. The committee then reviewed this role and determined that a coordinator would be an adequate fit for the current needs of McLeod County's economic development efforts. This position would initially be posted internally at McLeod County upon county board approval. Any questions?
Any questions from the board?
This has been a bit of a moving target, but I think we finally got it polished and honed in where it needs to be for the benefit of the county. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright, seconded by Commissioner Nagel to approve the grade change. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Item B, consider approval to increase one current child support officer's hours from part-time 28 to full-time 40 hours. This increase in hours will not increase the budget and is being requested by the Health and Human Services Director based on the needs of the child support unit. This unit had 2 vacancies, and it took some time to assess the needs of the unit before requesting to fill them. During this time, they've decided to not request hiring an additional person, but instead to increase a current staff's person's hours by 14 hours a week permanently.
Move to approve request, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second? I'll second it. Motion's been made and seconded to approve. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. C.
Thank you. Lastly, consider approval of the 2022 dental insurance contract with Principal, which is in Des Moines, Iowa. This is a 2-year contract with guaranteed rates. The rates for 2022 with Principal will not reflect an increased cost for McLeod County dental coverage. Previously, we were working with MetLife, and they provided a quote for 2022 dental with an increased coverage of 9% for those rates in 2021. Since this quote is not being accepted, the previous board request for coverage of increased costs will not be necessary for 2022. So the rates will remain the same as this year with no increase.
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Nagel to approve. Is there a second? I'll second it. All in favor, or any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Hannah, before you leave, I got to just thank you and Nathan for participating at AMC. For those that don't know, both of them sang in the choir, and Hannah did not that Nathan didn't, but Hannah stepped out there and did part of it. I was not there, but that's got the video, and it's nice to go to these places and see participation from McLeod County. So it's real
Thanks.
good. You did a great job.
I'm not sure that you know her, but Bev Longren would be very proud. I think she played the piano for it for
Awesome.
a bunch of years.
It was so fun, and it was fun to be there with Nathan. So yeah, we're looking forward to next year already. We'll start practicing. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Any solos right now that you want to do? Or
We do have video if you need to fill some time.
Public Works, John.
You were in the choir, huh?
I was there. I did not sing. I won't sing. First item, consider authorizing Public Works to solicit bids for a 60 by 150 foot cold storage building. This would be located at the Slat Shop or the Silver Lake, Lester area transportation spot. Budget Committee did review this on December 2nd to look at our storage needs and recommended the board authorize Public Works to solicit bids for this.
Questions from the board? We
Mr.
have
Chair, I'll
discussed
move
this in
to
more-
approve request.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second?
second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr.
Go
Chair.
ahead.
For discussion, John, I suppose it's typical with all solicitation for bids, but we will have the right to reject any and all bids
Correct.
in the process.
Yep.
So we're really just approving to solicit bids.
To
So
go
I
out for
don't
bids,
see.
yeah. State statute, anything over 175,000 for these contracts need to go out for bid.
When do you think the bid opening will be?
Approximately a month from now, plus or minus.
Any more questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And item B, we'd like you to consider authorizing Public Works to pursue an agreement with the City of Glencoe and MnDOT to look at a future Glencoe Area Transportation Services, or GATS, shop location. This would be to replace the Glencoe shop in town.
And as we've talked earlier, we've had some of this in workshop, and I'm the one that encouraged them to bring this up together because it is kind of one subject. We've been separated, and now we're trying to do our due diligence to take care of our equipment. And again, I appreciated Commissioner Schmalz's thing. We're looking into it. We can reject or change anything going on with.
Yeah,
With that, I would make the motion to pursue the work with GATS.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Well, I see them as a little more separate than I think than you do, but I am in favor of pursuing the agreement. I probably have been the most vocal about what we can do other than this, but this doesn't stop us from exploring that.
Correct.
And that's what's important to me, that we're going to continue to look at the options, and this is an option to look at, and that's what's important to do. So this doesn't mean we're going to do it, just like the bid piece, right? So I also appreciate it that it's here so we can have a true look at what we're, when we decide what to go with. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Nagel, and I agree. We don't know how to really pursue without getting some costs and see how this works out. I mean, the pluses and the minuses, because I do know that I got a number of phone calls. Don't quit the service. I mean, that was one of our options to move around, and
Correct.
so that kind of pushed me along to get these numbers. So
Yeah, being the property is now a joint tenant with the city of Glencoe and Mindet, this would be the first step for that. So
right, and neither one of these spots would be taking any land off the tax rolls. I mean, it's already owned by a
site.
municipality or county or state. Any more questions, discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
County administration. Calendars. Do you have anything before we go into calendars, Sheila? Okay, Darrell?
Mine was pretty quiet. Just got the 2 days in Minneapolis. Go ahead.
Okay. Main meetings over the past couple weeks. Budget meeting. And this morning I met out in Olivia. Judicial ditch number 1 is finishing up its redetermination proceedings. We will be meeting in February for our final hearing because there's been some continued changes on that. It did go from I believe it was 3,000 acres up to nearly 9,000 acres after the redetermination benefits was completed. The system is shared by Renville County, Meeker County, and outlets in McLeod County, right west of Hutchinson, and it causes a lot of flooding on our side. Somebody's always got to be on the outlet, and we've got it, and it's very low in that area. So there is some hardships with that on the McLeod County side, but like I said, somebody's always on the bottom. So a lot of numbers been going into that one, and hopefully in February.
Does that go into the Crow River, or does
Yes.
that go into Buffalo Creek?
It goes in the Crow River, and it floods right before that. So. Yeah, that's it.
So where's that at? Cedar Mills?
By David Roosh.
Where?
David Roosh is right in that area.
Excuse me. Since the last meeting, I've had Buffalo Creek Watershed meeting. I've had our HRA. I sat in on a AMC pre-conference meeting to set up our bullet points for some of the departments. I had North Fork Crow meeting, one watershed, one plan in Litchfield, Mid Minnesota development in Wilmar, Trailblazer, Lower Minnesota, one watershed, one plan in Gaylord. We had the 212 West Southwest Corridor meeting, ATP District 8, which are both transportation. I could go on and on. There's a lot of exciting things going on, but nothing really etched in stone. Then we attended the conference. I attended a couple of days. I did my MRC meeting on Sunday night, pre-conference on the 5th, And again, it's basically our meetings were to set policies for the upcoming legislative session. Again, I could go through all this, but nobody wants to listen to it anyway. But I'm doing my best to pick out the points that affect McLeod County the most, and I'll make reports as it comes along. On the 6th, I intended environmental and natural resources policy meetings, again doing pretty much the same thing, going through what the consensus was from the representation of the commissioners that were there on which policies to bring forth to the legislators. I also we did a Zoom on a pre-meeting for our burning ordinance agenda review, which brings us up to today. So, Joe, go ahead.
It's been a while since we had a meeting, so if I'm getting the calendar a little mixed up and there's some repeats in here, forgive me. But jumped on quick for a NACO public safety phone call. I believe we had a board workshop with the highway department in between this, or maybe that was before the last meeting. That's already been reported on. I was in Marshall for a Southwest with West Central meeting. I have Health and Human Services written down. We had a budget meeting. Attended the AMC conference, focusing my meetings in the public safety area. And then we also had a labor negotiations committee meeting. And then, I don't know how appropriate this is, but I got to attend the state football team and Hutch's game, and they did all right. So I was pretty happy with the outcome, and I don't know, I probably shouldn't say this, but I do have a favorite player on this team, but he'd kill me if he heard this, but I'm guessing he won't watch it. So, but congratulations to Colin and the team, and also a lot of other athletes had a really successful fall throughout McLeod County. We talk a lot about the youth at this board, and I think we need to keep doing that, whether it's 4-H or athletics or a play or drama or choir. I mean, it's the kids that are active. It's been proven that they stay out of a little bit more trouble, and I hope that comes true for Colin too. So that's it.
Well said. Yeah, thanks, Joe, for your report, and I as well congratulate the Hutchinson High School and the Hutch community and that family for the performance they did in the state football tournament. I think it projects well on McLeod County. It's just one of those things that adds a benefit to where we live and where we interact with our fellow residents. So since our last board meeting, which was a special meeting, I'm just going to turn the calendar to December. I did have an AMC Zoom call where we had to discuss I'm on the government policy committee where we discussed the platform we were going to bring to the AMC annual conference. And then Sunday the 5th of December, went to Bloomington for the AMC conference, attended actually a couple of committee meetings that evening. I enjoyed the conference. If people don't know, it was packed full of elective workshops that we as commissioners could attend, along with the business part of AMC. On the 9th of December, we did a Zoom call, a labor negotiations committee met. Friday the 10th, I had Central Minnesota Jobs and Training Zoom, which brings us to today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Sheila?
I just want to add that AMC is the Association of Minnesota Counties, representing the 87 counties throughout Minnesota, and annually they hold a conference where we can have education and training, talk to other counties about how they're handling resources and share resources with them. And several of our board and staff attend that every year when we can, and obviously we haven't been able to in a couple of years. It went very well. We learned a lot. We go to different education sessions. We split out, and so that is what AMC is that everyone's referring to. And I was there as well, so thank you.
Okay, I'm going to back up just a second too, and it's all right, Joe, to be a proud dad because you deserve it. It was a good game. I even watched it, and my family watched it. And I have been, after the conference, I talked to a few other counties, and some are doing it, I think that we should look into supporting our youth in McLeod County all the way across. It is a reflection of McLeod County, even though it was Hutchinson. And they have an excellent program, but I think we should reach out and try and support our youth through the whole. If we don't have them, we don't have much. So
True.
all right, you're done with? No, you go ahead, Sheila. With
Ready? Okay.
Yep.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Is this one on?
It is.
Okay. Okay, I'm just asking the board to consider approval of Resolution 21CB-37, authorizing a certain 5% pilot agreement and deficit agreement between McLeod County and the McLeod County Housing and Redevelopment Authority. I brought this forward in October. The amount has changed since the document, so it's now coming in. They're going to have their bonds not to exceed $2,140,000 for their revenue refunding bond series 2021. So I'm asking approval for entering into this agreement.
Board. I'll approve. I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second it.
Resolution 21CB-37, seconded by Commissioner Nagel. Is there any more discussion?
So what the change is that the plan to issue $2,140,000 is now not to exceed $2,140,000. It's about $1,000 less.
All right, thanks for the explanation. Any more discussion or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, second item that I have is I'm asking for the McLeod County Board of Commissioners to approve the printing of the 2020 financial statement to McLeod Publishing for the amount of $800. The Hutchinson Leader and the Herald Journal declined to give quotes.
Mr. Chair, move to approve request.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. C.
Thank you.
Ready?
Ready?
Thank you. Item C, notification of a solid waste advisory committee meeting to be held on December 20th, 2021 at 1:00 p.m. at the Environmental Services Building, 1065 Fifth Avenue Southeast in Hutchinson. Item D, notification of board workshop following the board meeting on December 21st, 2021 at the McLeod County Government Center here at 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota.
Any additions to those two notifications? Open forum. Anyone need to address the board? Press relations. Karen, do you have anything? Thank you. So I'd look for a motion to recess till our next meeting on December 21st at 9 a.m. here at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue in Glencoe.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're recessed.